Mother, how you doing? Bobby Dirkens here. Well, yesterday was the big game in Atlanta for Clemson versus Georgia Tech. Now, if you were sitting there listening to all these stats leading up to the game, especially you were listening to Network who was carrying the Clemson Georgia Tech game, you couldn't help but be annoyed there for a little bit. Hey, Aaron, may I tell you? But if you're sitting there and you're sitting there watching the previews of the Clemson game, this is all you heard. Out of the last 6 times Clemson's been here, they've got beat. I'd be scared if we were playing another team. May there to all of you saying may there to me, good to see you. Hey there, good to see you. Afternoon to you. Now, I would address this real quickly. A lot of people has asked me already, why didn't you do a reaction right after the Clemson game? And I'm going to have to be honest with you. I did not get to see a lot of this game for 2 reasons. First of all, I had a family member who passed away on Thursday. Actually, early Thursday, and we had their funeral yesterday. So I was with family. It was a little over an hour down the road, so I was unavailable here. Because we all know when the Lord calls your name, you're answering whether you want to answer or not. Thank y'all for all your good stuff. Thank you. Ryan's videos, thank you for saying you love my channel. Better than tell me that you hate it. Thank you for all the condolences. But she was 96. She was my great-grandmother, and good lady. Good lady. She had only, I've heard of people having great-grandchildren. She actually had great-grandchildren. Bobby Dirkens Jr., Bobby Dirkens Jr. was her great-grandchildren. So I've actually got pictures with them, and it was all great. They were chewing tobacco together, just like a family should. Thank you for all of that. But, yeah, I was at a funeral yesterday, and then I get home, and I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all. I'm going to tell y'all. Thank y'all for your condolences. It means a lot to me. That's why I like doing what I do. Y'all care, and if you don't, sure do a good job of lying. Appreciate it. I string my services. I don't sign up for, my soul for 2 years to a provider. Me and Bonnie Dirkens, what we do is we stream Netflix and Hulu all year long. All right? But when football season comes around, I got Sling. All right? I got Sling. And when it's over, college football is over, I just turned it off because I could care less about anything else, nor could she. Thank you for all the condolences. Thanks, DeAndre. Good to see you, buddy. I appreciate that. Anyway, I get home yesterday from the funeral, just getting back in time to hopefully catch part of the Clemson game, and guess what? My internet was down. I tried to get it fixed. I was supposed to have, it's a Sunday, I have a tech that's supposed to be coming out sometime between now and 7 o'clock tonight. Lord. Anyway, so I had to watch the game on my phone as much as I possibly could. Went back, caught the highlights. Here's what we all know. First of all, Clemson wins 49-21. All of that crap that we sat and we heard about, about, oh, Georgia Tech, that's a bunch of fluff. They knew this game was about as boring as, watching 2 maggots swim in a turd bowl. Nobody cared about it. Hey, Raging Buffalo. Hey, good to see you. Improv drunk. Hey, I'm probably drunk. I like that. Hey, I'm a new viewer. May there to you. George, you did it. Y'all beat Tennessee. I'll talk about that in just a second. Clemson wins 49-21, and all I got to say is this. Clemson might have turned the corner yesterday. See, down in Alabama, they had a quarterback situation they put to rest real quick. The media blew it up. People wanted to talk about it. A lot of people wanted to waste their time talking about it. Thanks for subscribing. I'm probably drunk. I like it. I'm probably drunk. But I like it. Thanks, George. Appreciate the congratulations. Congrats to Florida. Absolutely showing that Tennessee was even worse. Is even worse than what we thought. It's like if you were blind and you were dating somebody and you felt their face, or however they do, and you thought, you know what, this person may not be the best looking person, but they seem okay, and they love me. And then all of a sudden, science abounds, and you gain your sight, and you're basically looking at a foot with eyes, nose, and a mouth. What do? Scream. No, I'm just saying, here's the deal. It was ugly. We knew it was going to be ugly. Clemson went out there and dominated. I thought that touchdown by the defense looked amazing. But Alabama, they put to rest their quarterback situation. Georgia, people's talking about a quarterback situation at Georgia. That's just because they got Fields. Fromm's your man. Go ahead and stick with it. Fromm's going to be your man for a little bit. That's good. Justin Fields doesn't have to step in. Clemson, we have not put to bed our quarterback situation. We've played around with it. We've sat there and scratched our head. No, I haven't. I've called it as it is. But at the end of the day, hey, Eric, good to see you. Hey there. At the end of the day, I think what happened, I think Clemson just turned the corner. I'm sorry, a bunch of people's messaging right now, and it's getting my old mind. All right, Aaron, don't get in trouble. Let me tell you this: the doghouse seems good if you got a TV, until the dog wants to start kissing on you. Who's our quarterback, Bobby? Your opinion. I'm going to tell you right now. The post game with the coaches was not after the Georgia game was not the same post game that we've had with the coaches over the past 3 games. 13 of 18. Hey, Brett. Hey there. Trevor Lawrence came in. He was 13 of 18, threw 4 touchdowns, 176 yards, 1 interception. Thanks, Michael. You're the man, too. Unless you're a woman. Then you're the woman. The throw to Hunter Renfrow in the corner of the end zone and the catch is world class. Now, what I'm about to say, I know I'm going to catch major crap for this. I know I am. I don't care. Right? I don't care. I'm not trying to stir the pot. Lord, I'll turn the pot over. I don't care. What I am going to tell you is the truth. How many times when you're watching Tua from Alabama, I still can't say his last name. I call him Tugla Tugla. How many times you see Tugla Tugla playing against a team, you see him throwing a bomb downfield, and one of his players catches the ball and outruns everybody? Is that impressive? Yes, it is. It's impressive. But you don't see a ton of plays where Tua is throwing. I mean, there's a couple out there. I know somebody's going to start blowing up my channel with all these messages with links and stuff. I don't care. I'll delete it as soon as I see it. I don't care. But every time I turn on some type of footage of Tua, he's throwing the ball downfield 100 miles and the defense just lost the player because Alabama has good players across the board. They do. And Tua's fantastic, okay? But the passes I'm seeing Lawrence throw, yeah, he'll throw those mile-long bombs. I mean, that pass, you've got to be able to see that a player, have the vision of the field, that a player is wide open to hit them. And then you have to have the arm and the accuracy to get it there, okay? Right? I'm right. Shake your head like this. Even if you have palsy, continue to let it take hold of you and continue to say this. If your palsy shakes your head this way, grab it and let it start doing that. Because I'm right. Hey there, Ray Gardner. Good to see you. The pass he threw to Renfrow in the corner of the end zone was outrageous. It was a check down. Throw to Renfrow was a check down. He threw the ball to the corner. That pass was outrageous. The pass he threw to Higgins for a touchdown at the end of the game, did you see how fast he threw that ball, how accurate it was, and oh, go wind it back and see where he put the ball over a linebacker's head. Most quarterbacks, even good one, makes that pass, the ball gets tipped or picked off. The post game was totally different. Oh yeah, what about that circus catch by Renfro again on the side? That amazing pass. Let me tell you, we have the pieces together. We have the formula. I mean, if you want to blow up a building, last time I heard, you got to get some diesel and you got to get some fertilizer. That's what I've heard. We have the formula to blow up the conference football. Not conference football, college football world. Somebody just said something, you want some of the shine that I've got. I don't have shine. Tato, you want my opinion? I've been saying Trevor Lawrence has been our quarterback since preseason, but that we were going to have to break him in. And I felt like after I watched him play against A&M, they should have just turned it over to him and let him finish that ball game. I think the score would have been different. Yeah, Georgia, we basically do have a 7-foot tall. He's 6'6". I saw him now in the spring game. He's massive. Tall guy. He's towering over everybody. You start Trevor Lawrence. You let him do what he does. We need to let Trevor Lawrence... But notice when Trevor Lawrence walks out onto the field. I'm reading some of y'all's comments. Trevor Lawrence walks out onto the field. The defense gets scared. You know why? Because they're like, this guy can throw the ball anywhere. In a high school elite camp, he threw a ball 70 yards all air. Normally, if you have a strong arm like that, you're not accurate. Normally, if you're accurate, maybe give a little way on how far you can throw a ball. Not him. Pigskin Pete said this last week. I echo him. Unleash the beast. It's time to go out, open up a can on everybody. Beat the living piss out of them. He walks out. He looks across. You can see the defense starting to make adjustments. They started to make adjustments to the pass. Let's guess. We're going to hand off the ball. You can see him handing off the ball to one of our great running backs. Feaster had a touchdown. Averaged over 9 yards per carry. Etienne led the way with 11 carries, 122 yards, and 1 touchdown. We know our defense is good. Duh. That's like telling me I'm a Clemson fan. Oh, really? Well, thank you for taking the time to tell me something we all already know. It's like looking at a couple who's walking through the grocery store. All whacked out, and they look bad, and they look crazy. And you know everybody tells you, oh, listen, don't judge a book by its cover. I do. It's okay. It's fine. It's smart when you do that. You look at them and you go, you know, they do drugs together. How dare you say that? Well, sorry. You can look at them, you can tell, A, they're both losers, but they're a little too happy about life to be losers. Finagly teeth, probably share a needle, will be totally dumbfounded when they find out they have AIDS. And then you go into a grocery store and all of a sudden you walk into a grocery store and you see one of those magazines or those little papers they put out where they embarrass people or they get arrested. And you see those two, hand in hand together. Laced meth. It's obvious. It's obvious. We have the tools. Let's go out and beat out everybody. Let's go out and beat the crap out of everybody. I would say let's go out and just tear out everybody. Here's the deal. What we have to do is we just have to do what we did yesterday. Hand the keys to the race car driver. Syracuse, from what I can remember, is undefeated right now. They come into the Valley 4-0. You know what? Lazy 07 or I think that's you're right. You're right. We barely beat A&M. You know why we barely beat A&M? Because we didn't have Lawrence doing his thing. I know everybody can say that second week, all that. I will also say this, and maybe I am making excuses. I will tell you this. Jimbo Fisher has a chip on his shoulder for Clemson. Clemson is the one who basically took his comfort and his praise out of the ACC. We took his praise out. He could keep going to the Orange Bowl, or maybe he could keep going back every now and again, not getting a Sugar Bowl. He wins ACC championship. Everybody's all happy. No, Clemson comes along and has 10 win seasons for 7 consecutive years. You go to the college football playoff 3 years in a row. You win a national championship out of those years. You're out recruiting him. Then he goes out and has a horrible season last year. He wanted to play hard against them. Hey, Patty Heverly, may there. 6 o'clock Glock. But they should have handed the keys to the kingdom to Trevor Lawrence. Let it be done. Let him be done with. The guy comes out there and he's throwing. It's incredible. They better start him the next game. Start him the next game. It is what it is. I would tell you everybody who's talking about this. My socks are falling down around my ankles. We'll tell y'all this. Y'all take this to the bank. Bank it. Cashes big checks. We turn this sucker over to Lawrence. I think we're in for a treat. You know what I like about him? Unless they tell him to throw one of those dumb quick screens over to the sidelines. But against a bad team, you can do that. But that youngin', he gets out there, he snaps the ball, he'll check down on you like that. Do you know the reason Bama looks good right now? Is because they said, we're going with the guy who's ready for the job. We're going with the guy who's ready. We're going to go with the guy who knows what he's doing. Let's go with Tua. You know? Let's go ahead and run with a man who knows what they're doing. Clemson has played around with this long enough. And I'm hoping that this performance yesterday, 13 of 8, 176, 4 touchdowns. That means 1/3 of his touchdown. Or 1/3 of his passes were touchdowns. Basically, 1/3 of his passes were touchdowns. And you talk about throwing hard, throwing accurate, and this is what's beautiful about it. This is where it gets really good. He has the players around him to do it, to catch those crazy passes. He has the players to catch those passes. And those players have the guy to throw them the ball. And listen to me. Oh, it gets even prettier. It gets even prettier. It's like when a girl looks good across the room, the lights are kind of down, you're like, is she a 20-footer or is she a 30-footer? You're saying, Bobby, what's a 20 or 30-footer? Well, about 20 feet away, she looks good. Closer you get to her, it's like, scary. And then the lights come on, you get close to her, and she's even more beautiful than what she was 20, 30 feet away. Versus one time, a girl, I saw her across the way. It's when I was single, y'all. It's just me and you. Don't tell Bonnie, she'd murder me. Time I saw this girl across the way, man, she looked really, really attractive. Boy, I get up there close to her, I'm about to pull out, the proper lines like, hey, would you like to go somewhere and tongue kiss? Something like that. Wins every time. And she stepped there and that neon light kind of shined a little more on her, had teeth like a piranha. Stayed away from her. Ugly. Whew. But here it is. Here it is. It is, we're done. The beauty of this is that we have running backs that if they go and they start to cap down on our wide receivers, we hand off the ball to one of our geniuses. And they take off and burn it. Yesterday, that 200-plus yard rushing day was 2 running backs. I know there was 3 running backs, I think, that carried the ball. Feaster averaged over 9 yards per carry. ETN averaged over 11. You know how you do that? By them being scared of your pass. And you know how you can throw the ball like that? Because they're scared of your run. It's called balanced football. Clemson will be more balanced with Trevor at the helm. And I think we're there. Don't be surprised if for some reason they let Kelly come out and play next week more than what we think they would. But I'm going to tell you this. Trevor, every time he walks out on the field, he's going to make the coaches have to make this choice. Do we want to look stupid in front of our fan base, in front of the country, or do we want to do the right thing? I heard somebody earlier this week say, well, they're the ones being paid millions of dollars to coach football, so I guess I'll trust them. So that means that anything that runs through their head is brilliant, right? Right? Is that true? Huh? What, are you serious? No, that's not right. That's dumb and that's stupid. Just because you win a national championship. Gene Chizik won a national championship. He was fired. Matt Brown won a national championship. He was fired. Les Miles won a national championship. And he was fired. Philip Fulmer won a national championship. Coached some great players. He got fired. Bobby Bowden, he was won 2 national championships. Had one of the biggest dynasties around. They helped him retire. Want to keep going? The point is this. Just because you win a championship does not mean you're always going to make the right decisions. I understand play calls can be finicky, but when you have players coming out and playing like he's playing, it comes down to you must be a little too loyal to somebody. And I think, and I hope to you, God, that they just go ahead and say, we're just going to go ahead and make the right decision, and we're going to put Trevor out there. Well, I am going to be doing a preview of the Syracuse game for next week. Kickoff time's 12 o'clock on Saturday. Syracuse is undefeated from what I can remember. I think they won yesterday. I'm pretty sure they did. Y'all forgive me, as I said, my internet was down. Sorry about if there's some of the lag I'm having to use my data to do this stream. They're undefeated. They're coming into Clemson. Let me tell you, the Miles is going to be running. Media's going to try to blow us up this game. You know, Syracuse is going to try to embarrass them again. Clemson's not going to be embarrassed this time. Clemson's going to beat them. They're going to beat them. Syracuse is not horrible. Syracuse is not some juggernaut. Syracuse took advantage of a team last year looking for its identity. And rightfully so, they should have. And some of that, why they didn't put Hunter Johnson in as starting quarterback, Lord, I don't know, but neither here nor there. We're talking about this season. Start Lawrence, come out there, throw the ball all over the place, and then run it all over the place. You'll beat Syracuse 35-14, 42-14 if you do that. If you don't and you lose, that's your fault. But I'm pulling for my Tigers. Anyway, I'll preview. I'll talk about. I'm going to have a college football recap. Hopefully today, if I can get everything knocked up. Or knocked up. That sounds bad. If I get everything pulled together, hopefully get this tech here and get my internet fixed and so on. Big happenings. Florida beating Tennessee so bad. Tennessee, I even thought that maybe you would win that game because it was at home and maybe you pull it together. Tennessee, I thought Florida was bad until I saw you play. Y'all might need to just go ahead and forfeit all your games. Also, funny moment coming out of that game. One of their 4-star linebackers, yes, 4-star linebackers, was told to go in the game. He said no, and he basically quit the team in the middle of the third quarter. Love it, love it, love it. Anyway, y'all take care of yourselves. This is Bobby Dirkens saying, if you don't know me, subscribe. Stop being a loser. Subscribe. Find me on Twitter at bdirkens, BDIRKENS. Yes, y'all, I can spell. It's my name. I have to. And then on Instagram at the Bobby Dirkens. Remember, I'm Bobby Dirkens. You keep showing up. Lord knows I'll keep showing out. Bobby Dirkens.